What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. I am Pitching Ninja, and I'm here with Will Leahey. What's happening, Will?
Ninja, kind of a sad day. Mike Trout is down for the count again. I mean, it never stops happening. I want him traded off the Angels. I want him on a contender when he comes back this season. But the good news is B Guy is now here, and we got a new star in baseball. And this guy, he can do it all. Movie star, good looks, and just great at his job. What
Do you remember the
what's
beat
going on
girl
these days?
from back in the day? Blind Melon, No Rain.
Oh, Ninja! What a pull! I do. I love Blind Melon, and what a tune! What a little dance by a little girl. What?
Absolutely. And what a way to lead in to our whip around the league. I'm going to start with Dean Kramer, who had 4 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had this painted fastball, this sinker, and splitter. And he faced Nestor Cortez, who had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 4 runs. Cortez had this fastball, this elevated cutter, and this sinker that was barely above the ankles that was called the strike. God bless C.B. Buckner. Ryan Feltner had 3 Ks in 8 innings, giving up 3 runs. He had these sliders. He faced Sixto Sanchez, who has more than 6 toes, but only had 3 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 5 runs. Had this changeup and slider. Stephen Matz had 1 strikeout in 3 1/3 innings, giving up 4 runs and had this changeup. He faced Matt Manning, who had 7 Ks in 4 2/3 innings, giving up 4 runs. Manning started out strong this game with his fastball up to 98 miles an hour and also had this elevated breaking ball. Cookie Carrasco had 3 Ks in 4 innings, but gave up 8 runs. That's a lot of cookies. He had this slider and painted changeup. He faced Hunter Brown, who had 7 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 6 runs, and had these fastballs, including this painted fastball. He started out slow this game, then hit his stride, and then got hit again. Mitch Keller had 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, giving up 3 runs. He had these heaters and these sweepers with up to 21 inches of break. Those are filthy. He faced Alex Wood, who had 4 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had these sliders. Freddie Peralta had 7 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had these fastballs and nasty breaking balls. He faced Tyler Alexander, had 3 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 3 runs, and had this fastball. Jhoan Duran had 3 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 1 run, and had these 2-seamers. He faced Javier Assad, who only had 1 strikeout in 5 innings, giving up 1 run, and his strikeout was on this curveball. Landon Knack had 2 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 1 run, and had this slider. He faced Brandon Hughes, who had 2 Ks in 1 scoreless inning as the opener, and had these sliders. Simeon Woods Richardson had 2 Ks in 3 2/3 innings, giving up 1 earned run, had this slider. He faced Michael Soroka. Coincidentally, people are doing it, Mike Soroka to Landon Knack. We have Landon Knack and Mike
Soroka.
But Mike Soroka showed some signs of his old self. He had these nasty sinkers, this changeup and slider, and really looked like prime Mike Soroka for a little bit. But he's going by Michael Soroka now. So I don't know. Is he going to get it or not? He's got to change his name back, I think.
Mike Soroka.
Mackenzie Gore had 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had these nasty breaking balls and looked pretty good. He faced John Gray, who had 3 Ks in 8 innings, giving up 1 run, and had these sliders. Cooper Criswell had 4 Ks in 5 scoreless innings, giving up 2 hits, and had these wicked sweepers and nasty cutter.
Another Sox pitcher, a sub-2 ERA now.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you, but Bailey is a heck of a coach. He outdueled Logan Webb, who had 4 Ks in 3 2/3 innings, giving up 4 runs, and had this slider off the plate for a strikeout. Yu Darvish is back and had 3 Ks in 5 scoreless innings. He had these sliders and picked up a sword. Spencer Turnbull, who is a stud this year, had 6 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 1 earned run, had these fastballs and painted sweeper. He faced Tyler Anderson, who had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. Anderson featured a filthy changeup, as he always does. He kind of lagged on this pitch. I don't know what he's doing here. Kind of messing with timing. He actually messes with timing on almost all his pitches with that funky leg kick, but this one, it's a long pause. And then I love this, where Bryce Harper calls time right as Tyler Anderson is ready to throw, Anderson is pissed. Harper gives this big smile and then strikes out. God bless him. Break up the Mariners starting pitching for one. Luis Castillo had 7 strikeouts in 7 scoreless innings, giving up 3 hits. He had these fastballs, these sliders, picked up a sword, had this White Castle special. The Mariners starting pitchers have now gone 18 consecutive games giving up 2 earned runs or less. I think it's because I spent a ton of time with them in spring training, but they're also freaking studs. Dude, I don't even know who the best pitcher is on this staff among starters. It's been an absolutely crazy run. I got a text at 1 in the morning from somebody going, "What about these Mariners starting pitchers?" And I'm like, "They're awesome, but don't text me at 1 in the morning." He faced Ronaldo Lopez, who was good again yesterday with 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, giving up 3 runs, and had this fastball, this changeup, and slider. Cole Reagans was really solid again with 9 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings, giving up 1 run. He had these fastballs, including this painted 98-mile-an-hour heater, and his sliders, including this back foot slider. He's definitely one of the best pitchers in the American League. Go check out my interview with him on what, Will?
The Baseball Dojo podcast. Available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube.
He faced Jose Barrios, who had 3 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 2 runs. A solid outing for Jose Barrios. He had these front door 2-seamers and slurves, but it wasn't solid enough for me to win my K-prop parlay because he cost me it. In the start of the day yesterday, Jack freaking Flaherty had 14 strikeouts in 6 2/3 scoreless innings, giving up 2 hits and 1 walk. He started this game with 7 consecutive strikeouts. I am so pumped up. I am spitting on my screen here. He tied the AL record for consecutive strikeouts to start a game. He had 24 swings and misses this game, 10 on his fastball, and his heater was up to 98 miles an hour. I don't know if you remember last couple of years, he was struggling with fastball velo. Well, it's back, and it's back with a vengeance. He also had these wicked sliders, nasty knuckle curves, and here's an overlay of his fastball and slider, and you can see why that combination was just killing hitters all day. Jason Benetti is probably my favorite broadcaster out there, but check this out. This absolutely freezing cold take 1 pitch later.
No. And Hunter's a good umpire. I mean, he just...
You got your manager tossed.
Oh, boy.
He also had this great Shining reference with Jack Flaherty.
Strike 3. All whiffs and no contact make Jack anything but dull.
Fantastic work by Jason Benetti.
Benetti's the best.
He really is the best.
I'm really glad he got out of Chicago for this dreadful season, too.
Yeah, I know. He deserves better. The man is an absolute stud.
It seemed like a lateral movement at first going to the Tigers, who've stunk for the last 20 years, but he's back doing good big things. Although the Tigers blew this damn game.
They did.
And Flaherty, 93 pitches, 14 Ks in 6 2/3 innings. Could have got the 21, Ninja. What do you think?
I thought so. At one point in this game, I was like, FanDuel posted odds for Flaherty to have 21 Ks, and I'm like, I'm going to put this out there because it just seems so stupid to even type 21 Ks in a game. But he did tire later on. Still was unbelievable. Like, this was a tour de force from Jack Flaherty. He faced Kyle Gibson, who was really good himself. Good enough to compete with Jack Flaherty. He had 9 Ks in 7 innings, giving up only 1 run. He had this paintish front door 2-seamer, these sweepers, and changeup. In the other top matchup of the day, not in the major leagues, we had Alek Manoah versus Paul Skenes, and this was an absolute pitching duel. Alek Manoah had 12 strikeouts in 6 innings, giving up 1 run on 2 hits. He looked fantastic. I know people have been crapping on him, but Alek Manoah looks back. His fastball was up to 96 miles an hour, and his sliders were totally disgusting. Look at these things. Absolutely filthy. I love it when Manoah's pitching like this. I hope to see him up in the major league soon. Great stuff from Alek Manoah. And he faced Paul Skenes, who the MLB is not ready for this guy. He is going to tear it up. He was up to 75 pitches this game. He had 7 strikeouts. He lowered his ERA to 0.39 in AAA. He's now thrown 89 pitches at 100 miles an hour or more in the minor leagues this year. And I know people like to compare him to Steven Strasburg, the best prospect since Strasburg. Look at Strasburg's stats in the minor leagues. He had a 1.99 ERA, which is fantastic, and an 11 K per 9. Paul Skenes this year, a 0.39 ERA and is averaging 16 strikeouts per 9 innings. His last 2 pitches this outing were 100.9 miles an hour and 101 miles an hour. Ridiculous. Now on to my filthiest relievers. Amir Garrett is back and picked up a White Castle special, friend of this show. Reed Garrett, no relation, had this splitter. Jose Alvarado had this filthy cutter. Abner Uribe had this wicked right hook, more like a slap. Jeff Hoffman had this nasty splitter. Luke Weaver had these filthy changeups. Jacob Webb had this changeup, fastball, and sweeper to a blindfolded Stanton. I mean, look how much he misses this pitch by. It's midway in the other batter's box, and he didn't adjust at all. Zach Pop had this 98-mile-an-hour sinker. Yuki Matsui had this splitter and slider. Andres Munoz had these wicked sliders. Matthew Liberatore had these beautiful curveballs. Josh Hader picked up 4 Ks in 2 innings in relief. Joe Kelly proved once again there's a fine line between a psychopath and a reliever. And frankly, I am not sure which side of the line Joe Kelly is on. Even having had pizza with the dude, I definitely got some axe murderer vibes.
Well, I don't know if we shouldn't be divulging this, but any promotion is free promotion. Joe Kelly told us that he plans to do I was going to call it a murder podcast, but it's more of a just talking to really, really bad criminals podcast. And I'll tell you one thing, Ninja, when it comes out, I'll be tuning in.
And his theory is I'm going to ask them why they were doing it and hoping they are not remorseful. I'm glad we got out of there alive now.
Yeah, feels good.
Feels good. Ryan Helsley had a near immaculate inning. He had 8 strikes in a row and then ended the inning on this pop-up, but man, he was filthy. And Lucas Ursig had these fastballs and slider. It's just nasty. Break up that A's bullpen. My top 5 filthiest pitches of the day yesterday. At number 5, maybe it's not a pitch, but it's Joe Kelly and his psychopath tendencies. At number 4, welcome back, Jhoan Duran. Check this out. 101-mile-an-hour heater, followed by this wicked curveball. I overlaid them in. Hitters are just facing this dude. I am so happy to see him back. At number 3, Alek Manoah and his wicked sliders. At number 2, Jack Flaherty picked something. The man was just it's a tour de force performance. Best performance of his career. Filthy stuff. God bless Jack Flaherty. And at number 1, if he pitches, he's number 1. It's medieval Mason Miller. Check out this stuff. Just absolutely tearing it up once again. He now has a strikeouts per 9 of 18.9. You heard me right. The man strikes out 19 hitters per 9 innings. He would contend for the all-time strikeouts per 9 innings in a game if he started. Forget it. Medieval Mason Miller has just gone medieval on your ass once again. And now my pitching ninja moment of Zen. It's the bees. Sometimes it bees like that, Will. My picks of the day today are a 3-leg parlay. I'm going to start out with Shota Imanaga for 5 Ks or more, then take Yoshinobu Yamamoto for 6 Ks or more, and top it off with Chris Sale for 7 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?